Kidding. Let's just start this over. Now I realize why I actually did live reporting, because certainly news anchoring is not for the faint-hearted. It is what is happening right here at the National Newsroom contest. It is the grand finale happening right here. The mood, as you can see around the room, my goodness, it is tense. And of course, it is expected, because that is what you would expect of competing teams. 7 universities from 7 different, regions in this country taking part in this grand finale. In this room, we have media managers and of course from different stations, not just, enjoying the bulletins, but looking out for talent, because in this very room, there is nothing short of talent. Will it be enough to qualify some of these teams to the top 3 spots? That remains to be seen by the end of the day. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we have to move over to the English news anchoring category. We did an amazing performance from the earlier bulletins that were in Luganda, but now it is time for the other half. Will they be as good? That remains to be seen. Ladies and gentlemen, to begin us off is the Makerere University team coming in for the English news anchoring.
Bagala Mike. Iya live report. Bagala Mike. Agendesi ababaleke tawo. Yeah, because when you are so fast, the images do what? Move slowly, yeah?
Stack on the beat.
What does that say?
The mic has a problem. At exactly 3 p.m. to be appearing on the screen with the packaging that is used.
It's 3 p.m.
Yeah.
3 p.m.
If it says 3 p.m., never change the time of our bulletin. It's a good morning. We gave it to that per youth.
One, two. Straight to the point, accurate, elaborate, inclusive is the Makerere News. We find you wherever you are, in your living room, sitting room, or even on the streets. We bring to you news about the different kind of innovations that are happening in the world. Allow me to introduce to you, broadcasting from the Sant clients and Ant clients of Kabalagala, that of Kampala, the Makerere News, with the two fantastic ladies and a perfect touch of voice. At exactly 3 p.m.
The Inter-University Media Challenge competitions come to an end in style with the grand finale. Now, the competitions have been ongoing for the past 5 months, and today we're here to see who takes the crown home. Welcome to Mark TV. I'm Rebecca S.Jem Kama with Namanda Florence on the sign language, together with
Madeline Chisule, these are the headlines. Online gender-based violence takes the lead following the COVID-19 pandemic. Uganda as an education hub for foreigners. Chitezi landfill sparks health concerns, I beg your pardon. More on these stories in a bit with the news in detail.
Now, with the news in details, online gender-based violence comes to the front of violence against women and girls today. According to the study conducted by the World Wide Web Foundation, there has been a rise in the global online violence against women and girls today because there has been an increased number of girls using the internet for their education, work, and personal relations. Melissa Mpumza has more to the stories.
1 out of 3 women in the world experience gender-based violence. With the rise of digital technologies and social media platforms today, online gender-based violence comes to the front line. Pauline Okoth from the DW Academy says online gender-based violence can be any form of abuse to women through internet-supported devices and the way the media covers gender stories.
We did a study on how the traditional media reports online violence against women. And you might ask, what is online violence against women? Well, it is violence that is perpetrated using information and technology like the internet, using mobile phones, through text messages, technically using internet-enabled electronic devices.
Hannah Arinaitwe, a content creator and journalism student at Makerere University, says that emerging female online journalists like her are abused on a daily as they tell their stories.
You are concentrating on telling a certain story I am a TV host, radio host. You're considering you're doing a certain story, but somebody is decides to maybe focus on abusing the way you look, the way you talk, or maybe your name or where you come from. And the online space has harbored so many of cyber bullies, and it's insane.
The subject of online gender-based violence is something we do not have a lot of control over. If I ask for nudes from a girl and she sends them to me, she's basically telling me that I am free to do whatever I want with her, online. So the fight shouldn't be crying of what we are doing, but the fight should be a solution. And the solution in terms of, right from the DMs, do not allow us to ask for some things, even if we do, don't support us by giving them to us.
Arenaito says that while interacting on online platforms, the issues of gender should be put aside, while people are seen for what they do, but not who they are.
We should step outside from the matters of sex, whether someone is male or female. Look at them as a professional. If they are crying about it as a professional. And
civil society that is making advances, say in research, in advocacy, needs to work with the media so that we are working together and finding solutions on how we can improve this.
While online violence affects both men and women, women are often the primary targets as sexism and misogyny, which are prevalent in patriarchal societies, prevail in the media too. Melissa Ampomuza, Mark Daily.
Thank you, Melissa. Now, Madeline, that raises us to our opinion poll question today. With the emerging online-based violence, what should be done to ensure sensitivity and safety while participating online? I repeat, with the emerging online gender-based violence, what should be done to ensure gender sensitivity and safety while participating online?
That's an interesting question, Becky. Would love to hear from you. Please be sure to engage with us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at MarkTV, #MarkDaily. That is MarkTV, #MarkDaily. And in our next story, the influx of students from all over Africa into Uganda has transformed the nation into an education hub for the African continent. These students can attain formal education from elementary levels, such as primary, all the way to higher institutions of learning, such as universities and tertiary institutions. Now, although the benefits enjoyed by these students from the Ugandan education system cannot be overlooked, they still face various challenges whilst in pursuit of education. Helena Nwasima with more on this story.
Uganda boasts about being a hub for formal education, given the high influx of foreign students from around the continent of Africa at all levels, from primary level to
education in Uganda is, I found it really good because I came here to improve my English, and it really helped me very well because everybody speaks English. That's was very helpful for me, and it really helps me a lot to improve my English.
Inevitable to say that these migrants have benefited from Uganda's education system, but also the fact that they encounter challenges cannot be ruled out.
The first challenge of maybe failing to get place of work, also the challenge of discrimination and the second is also some of the youth, maybe some of the people in Uganda, immigrants, because they feel the incompetence. So we will love to challenge against them. Maybe this side is a bit colder. So that's the challenge.
Case for the students in higher education, the government is quite mindful that there are many foreign students coming in to study, and the policies there is we are working with the national migration policy, and one of those aspects that cut across migration is education. So the discussions about the visa regimes, the discussion about ESC and ESC protocols provide for free movement of persons, also mindful of students that study here, but also to be mindful of visa regimes that provide, they need to be able to have a facility to confirm that they are students. If you come in on a visa, the expectation is you should be able to apply for our family. A student pass, which allows you to be a student here. So some of the evolving challenges there are being put into consideration, but mostly through the policy formulation that is underway. Yes, thank you.
My name is Sarok James Isaiah, a former student of journalism and communication at Makerere University. Yes, I've benefited quite well from Makerere University, in the fact that we had a very conducive environment as international students from South Sudan. We had an association called MUSA, that is Makerere University South Sudanese Students Association, that helped us to overcome various issues such as, of course, academic challenges, home-related challenges, among others.
According to National Council for Higher Education, Ugandan universities and other international schools in Uganda host about 30,000 foreign learners per year. Remember, migration is the right. Helena Nwazima, Martin.
Now, coming to Kampala's staggering population of 1 million people, it produces 1,500 tons of waste daily. With the Chitezi landfill located in the city's outskirts, it's its primary dumping ground, meaning that we have a problem of waste disposal at hand. The officials and the residents of the area are worried, and Abby has more to this story.
In the heart of Uganda lies Chitezi landfill, located on the outskirts of Uganda's capital city. Chitezi parish, along the Kampala-Gayaza road, has become a symbol of the country's failure to address its waste management crisis. With a population of over 1 million people, Kampala generates 1,500 tons of waste daily, making the landfill the primary dumping ground. A worker from this landfill, Joyce Nachiko, expresses a deep concern over the detrimental effects of contaminated water from waste on their health, as well as the presence of broken bottles that pose a threat of foot and hand injury.
The problem we face is that bottles sometimes cut us, yet I am passionate about what I am doing. Last time when I was carrying waste, I developed a back problem. However, the situation is not so bad because I earn some money from this. Nevertheless, leachate affects our private parts when it splashes.
When it rains, it floods down there because there is a trench in the middle and another blocked trench at Lusanji, causing homes to flood. However, the government is planning to solve this issue by the start of next year.
What is the government trying to do? One is to ensure that these people that are close to the landfill are paid off. So the government has asked the people that are close to the landfill to put in their applications expressing their will to sell to the government so that they can be acquired and they get off the effects of this overutilization of the land.
There is increasing tendency and these communicable diseases like typhoid, cholera, malaria because of the sanitation is poor. What I can recommend is to do a streamline and doing health education. The people are living around that area. Then this government should continue providing mosquito nets to children around and people living around that area.
The deteriorating conditions at Chitezi landfill demand immediate action and attention from authorities. A comprehensive waste management plan backed up by adequate infrastructure is crucial for ensuring the proper well-being of citizens and protection of the environment. The government must swiftly address the issues surrounding the Chitezi landfill and address the issue of sanitation and health for a better well-being of the people around Chitezi landfill. This is Narada Abisaji, Mark David.
In other news, the Media Challenge Initiative closes the 2023 edition of its annual Inter-University Media Challenge with a grand finale held at the Tirupati Mazima Mall in Kabalagala. In attendance are the 7 universities that managed to make it to the final round, the judges, and other media enthusiasts. Our reporter Rita Calendera is at the event with more on this story. Over to you, Rita.
Many thanks, Madeline and Rebecca. I am reporting from the Media Challenge Hub and the atmosphere in the place speaks tension, nerves, and emotions as students from 7 different universities and institutions get to compete in the Newsroom contest. Today, as these universities through the radio challenge to the national, which are happening today. Remember that the is celebrating 12 years of existence. It has been mothered and groomed so many people in the media industry, including people like Olivia, Renette Asimwe, and so many others. Well, speaking to us today is a fellow from the Media Challenge Initiative, and he's going to be telling us what he thinks of this contest. Good afternoon, what's your name?
I am Ishmael Abenitwe, and like you said, I'm a fellow with the Media Challenge Initiative.
Okay, could you briefly tell me what the experience was back then and what advice do you give to the people who are participating in this year's contest?
Okay, the experience, I guess you mean for the expo. The expo was fun and it's still fun. Now, apart from the vibes, we had a lot of networking with people from other universities, and then the expo inspired things like the fellowship. So I'm part of the fellowship, and within the fellowship, you get to meet seniors in this thing. For example, my mentor in the fellowship is Daniel Utaya. He has helped me a lot, especially as regards my career, which is social media influencing as of now. He has helped me better myself so much.
So what advice do you give to the people who are actually participating?
Okay, and now if you're taking part in this year's expo, the only advice I can give you is calm down, yeah? Lower the pressure, because everyone is a winner. So the mere taking part in the competition makes you a winner. Reaching this level makes you a winner. So whatever the result is, you are a winner being part of MCI. Yeah.
Thank you so much. With the interest of time, I have to cut you off. Well, you have had it for yourselves. The competitions are ongoing, and later on we'll be giving you details on who will emerge winner. Calendar Rita, back to you, Madeline and Rebecca.
Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Rita. And with that, Mark Daily comes to an end. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Madeline Chisule with Namanda Florence on sign language, and my colleague. Good morning.
A huge round of applause for Team Makerere University.
Well, yeah.
A celebration, jubilation from the team from Makerere University. They have just finished the bulletin in English, and now it is time for them to face off with the judges. Ladies and gentlemen, let's clap one more time for Makerere University. Our distinguished judges.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much, Team Makerere University. I think you did a wonderful job. Let me first tell you the ones I really enjoyed. Not that the others were not good, but I enjoyed the live. I liked it very much. I enjoyed the sign language. Though I didn't understand what you were saying. Yes, I enjoyed the story at the landfill. I enjoyed the anchors. So I had a session with the anchors this week where I was trying to, drum up your confidence skills. I don't think you guys were there. Were you? The anchors? You weren't. It was Monday. You were? Okay. You can't hear me very well. Jesus Christ. Can you guys hear me? Should I shout? Okay. So the anchors, you know that you at the end of the day, like I described to those guys who I was speaking to, they told me, I told them that at the end of the day, you're the ones who are serving the food. Okay. So the reporters actually go out and cook the food. The producers are the ones who prepare the menu of the day. Where's your producer, by the way? Or your producer is there. What were you telling us at the beginning? I didn't understand you. Yeah?
Okay, it's basically a cash up, like cashing up someone's mind. You know, someone might be stressed up, but when you actually show them that the news we are bringing is inclusive, we want everyone in it, we want the poor, everyone is in what we gave you, we show you it's straightforward, inclusive, accurate, objective, everything.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, so the anchors, I liked your voice, Rebecca. I didn't know that that was your voice, but I began to like it. Yeah, I began to like it. You guys have very good voices. However, in that session, we also talked about body language. It matters a lot when you're an anchor. I can actually tell if you're nervous, if you're anxious, if you're feeling like, man, when do I get off this stage? So it matters a lot. Even for the teams that are coming after this, I hear I'm popping, but I don't know if you guys can hear me. Maybe let me put my volume just a little bit up. Okay. Now, who is your editor? Or do you do the editing yourselves? You're the editor. You know editing, video editing. Yeah, video editing also matters a lot. Sorry, I can hear the pop, huh? Yeah, but video editing matters a lot. And I think in video editing also goes the audio. Now, there were some stories which I enjoyed, that Chitezi landfill. I like the PTC, but at the end of the day, I couldn't hear. I could hardly hear anything. I could hardly hear who was voicing. I didn't know what the content was. You understand? So the editors, please balance your sound. Who are your camera people? All of you guys were filming for yourselves, yeah? Okay, because I would have also wanted them. This time I really want to concentrate on the people who are behind the scenes, yeah? Behind the scenes, because I am a behind the scenes person, and I'm the one who makes the anchor look good. At times you anchors, you frustrate us, but then at the end of the day, we make you look good. So you guys did a good job. The live thing, I really liked it. I liked that you were talking to that gentleman and you were looking at him in the eye, and it was not even about the cameras or whoever is listening to you or whoever is looking at you. I liked Makerere University. Yeah? Thank you very much. Maybe my colleague Rosemary has something to say.
Thank you very much. I completely agree with what Linda is saying. I loved the energy that Rita came with. I think that was good. That is now live reporting. You need to master your subject and then come with energy. When you come with energy, someone will definitely say, okay, what is she talking about? If you're dull, someone will run away. Whatever I don't care. But when you are energetic, even if someone is not listening, they will say, okay, what is she saying? What did she say? Did you see that lady? Did you notice her? And I love that. And then I'm wondering, usually in the newsroom, there are so many men. But this time, look at my team. Thank you for working so hard. Sometimes they tell us women cannot do this, women cannot do that. But I love it that you are taking the lead. Thank you so much.
Who is Nalwada? May we clap for this woman? I love reality. when you take journalism to where it is meant to be, we know you're doing the job. You know, I have been to Chitezi, and I know how the scent is. It takes a little lowering of your pride to accept that you're professional, to take your PTC at such a scene. Thank you very much. And whoever did that story, I love the way you go to the authorities and the way you did the transcribing to whoever was speaking in vernacular into English. Thank you very much. And who is Chisule? Woman, I love your confidence. It was charming. She had a smart eye contact to the camera, and much of the content seemed as though she was reading from a teleprompter somewhere. May we clap for her? Thank you, Makerere team.
Let's give it up one more time for Makerere University. My goodness, what a show of great talent, and we're just beginning with the English news anchoring. Makerere is fully done with their presentation for both Luganda and English. And right about now, join me in welcoming Uganda Christian University Mukono for its English news bulletin.
You'll have to take your position.
Yeah.
Can you imagine I'm going to the university? Hey!
You are watching UCU Focus TV.
Well, Pauline, do you know that it is often said that you will never find time for anything? If you want time, then you must create it.
Joshua, anyways, we hope that you have made time for Focus at 1. My name is Luba Pauline.
And I am Mwesigwe Joshua.
Let's get into the headlines.
MCI competitions commence immigrant coverage in Ugandan media. The cost of free healthcare, handling pregnancy stigma.
When they call me, you tell me. I'll first tell Luba.
A beautiful afternoon. I beg your pardon. A good afternoon and welcome to Focus at 1. We are live from our command center in Mukono.
It is the 17th day of November 2023, and in our top story, the MCI competitions have officially commenced. So, Joshua, it has been a week of progressive exercises and practices to getting ready, followed by a 4-day expo as well.
Speaking of the 4-day expo, now 7 universities are set to go head-to-head in a bid to win this year's championship.
Our reporter, Dismas Nwaine, is live on ground right now to tell us what's happening. Yes,
Thank you very much, Luba. I'm reporting live from the 4th floor of the Chiru Pati Mazim building here in Kabalagala, where the 12th edition of the Media Challenge Initiative is up and underway. Unlike last year, 7 universities are taking part in this year's National Newsroom contest, and of these, only one can emerge victorious. Just one can take this trophy home. Now, Luba, this challenge comes in the wake of the radio contest, which Uganda Christian University managed to win last time out. And Luba, you can stand to imagine with me the kind of sentiments in this area. The weather is a little bit chilly, and this stands to mirror the sentiments in the building right now. The tension in the room is almost tangible. You can almost touch it, and there's that sort of nudge of concern that is shrouded on the faces of many in this place. Now, Luba, you must remember that this challenge, the Media Challenge Initiative, has the fellowship program. And standing with me here is Precious Aloyo, who has been part of this fellowship program for over a year. Precious, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
So, Precious, I want to understand it from you today. The participants are in the room. They're taking part in this contest. You've been parts of this program. What do you think are some of the key takeaways that the participants should be keen to go with?
Participants should focus a lot on getting questions from the lists that they bring, because they are huge people that will help them thoroughly in their career. So we really, really need to focus on getting those connections and paying attention. Yes.
Well, there you have it. It's hot, it's contentious, and it's happening right now. By the end of today, we shall be in position to know which team will take on this bull by its horns. Back to you, Luba and Josh, in the main studio.
Thank you so much, Dismas. Now, as war, climate, health, and social calamities wage across the continent of Africa, hundreds and thousands of students flee their homes in pursuit of peace and greater education. However, the coverage of immigrants has pushed a negative narrative among the African people.
Well, Charlotte Nalule and Narian Nisima cover how the media have covered immigration in Uganda. Let's get into it.
Migration is inevitable for opportunities such as seeking asylum and better services such as education. However, switching environments comes with a price, such as unwelcome perceptions from other people that could be stirred by media coverage of immigrants. We spoke to a university student coming from Congo who shared his experience in Uganda.
I remember when I came in Uganda, my first time to realize there was a signpost written in another language, which was English, and I was so surprised to say, hey, okay, MTN, hey, Momo, hey, we're going to Uganda.
Amidst these perceptions, these people are human and a number of provisions could be taken up to improve their coverage.
The positive one, they really show the needs where people really need, like help, and even assistance and other stuff. Maybe what I can say, before we talk about Congo, you have to go there and live among those people. They are here in Uganda not because they want it. They are here because the circumstances brought them to be here in Uganda. So when you're talking about Congolese refugees in Uganda, please try to understand.
Experts who attended the 2023 Media Challenge Expo had this to say about refugee coverage in Uganda.
Thank you, Charlotte and Arian, for that great piece. Now, safeguarding and investing in health systems and structures is essential to economic and social well-being. It is government's role that all citizens across the country receive free health care. Ugandans never expected to incur costs in free health care, and that's to say costs in comfort, transport, and proper treatment.
Today, we see how free is free healthcare. Our reporter Timothy
The government of
Kurut
Uganda
has the story.
These are the positives that are happening. How people has stepped out to provide free social services, especially in line with education and health. But many analytics argue that there is a cost in opting to receive free government services. In the health sector, for example, services are split between two wings, public and private, that offer services freely and at a cost respectively. But despite being free, the public wings haven't drawn popularity from the people.
I have quite been involved in covering and training on public service delivery, and when it comes to health, usually the districts allocated health budgets, which are used to make sure that the health centers and perhaps sometimes even the hospitals actually are taken care of. Now, the difference then is that in terms of public health, there are communities that individuals are supposed to access.
Thank you so much, Vanessa Madrega and Charity Kide. Now, gender inequality has plagued a number of workplaces, various workplaces across the Ugandan business scene, especially among pregnant women.
Yeah.
Becoming pregnant today may signify losing a job, lagging in the field, or being an unproductive woman journalist.
Well, our reporters Vanessa Majwega and Charity cover pregnancy stigma amongst women in the media. We have the story.
1 in 4 expectant mothers are reluctant to share their pregnancy news for the fear of the stigma that is encompassed with it.
Newsrooms and any other organizations have to leave space for women to be able to fulfill that role that is given to them by nature. I'll give an example. For me, when I got the job that I'm doing right now at Uganda Radio Network, I was pregnant, but I was not conditioned that because you're pregnant, you will not start working, or we shall not give you a chance to be employed at the network.
Well, earlier on, we had a question we left on our social media platforms. We were trying to inquire from you people, what do you think about the refugees?
We posed the question. We asked the question, what do you think about the portrayal of immigrants in the Ugandan media scene?
This is what you had to say. Now, we have Marvin Twinawi saying they are sometimes seen as second-class citizens, but there is no crime in seeking asylum. Another comment comes in from Oakwood, quite a difficult spelling. But to an extent, refugees are portrayed as threats in the communities. This is because some ignore community registrations and refuse to identify themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we had for you in today's bulletin. My name is Mwesigwe Joshua.
And my name is Luba Pauline, and you have been watching Focus at 1.
Have a good afternoon.
You Focus at 1. It is a beautiful, beautiful presentation coming in from Uganda Christian University, Mukono. Are we excited? The bulletins are doing it. Yes, the audience seems to think so. But of course, we have the judges for us to decide who will be taking home the top position. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome UCU on stage, from the production to the editorial team and the presenters. Let's clap for UCU one more time. Well done. Our distinguished judges.
Yes, UCU. Thank you for your presentation. Interesting. But, let me just start with that but. Why were those stories cut? Why were those stories cut? You give me an answer. I'm not leaving this place without an answer. Why were those stories cut? Is it a thing of time management? Is it your editing skills? Is it your producer? Is it the person who is on the machines behind there? Why? I need an answer. I'm now the manager. Give me an answer.
Well, my name is Charles and I'm the producer. So I had to cut the stories to manage time so that other programs may be able to run, so that we wanted to fit in the exact time frame we were given.
Imagine if you are watching a bulletin on NTV. Imagine if you are watching a bulletin on NTV and that is what happened. Today I was told I don't have to be that strict, but I'm just telling you, in real life, you've not offered anybody any information. Basically what you've been doing is, because you're trying to save time, you don't give us anything. You don't. It goes back to the planning process. How do you plan? We have people in the newsroom, in today's newsroom, who want to do stories of 4 minutes. yet you've told them to do a story of 1 minute and 30 seconds. So if you have any people among your team, the producer holds a lot of, what can I call it? But the producer is the one who says, your story is long, I'm going to cut it here, I'm going to edit it here, so that everybody else can have a chance. But I'm enjoying the pregnancy story, really, and it's cut. I felt it was a disservice to me. Okay? So let that not happen, this issue of cutting the stories. 2, the anchors. I didn't understand. By the way, you guys are good. You look good together. I think you kind of did the color coordination, but I didn't understand what is called your global intro. Luba, you were standing there. He was talking. Then you guys did a kind of an intro. Then again, you came back. You sat down. You did another intro. Now, we need to cut down on the times that we do those intros. Let's just have one catchy intro that is going to lead us into the news. It's going to be interesting, and it's going to whet my appetite, yeah? So that I'm looking forward. But then when the interaction becomes too much, I switch off, yeah? Okay? Then, the other day when I came here, now I'm still on the anchors, I talked about body language. Luba, I didn't understand this at the beginning. It shows when you do this, it shows oh my God, you're protecting yourself against something. I don't know who was attacking you. Then Mwesigwa, there is that, the pocket thing needs to be practiced. This pocket thing is not for everybody. You can. Right now it's okay. But what I'm saying is there are times when you put your hand inside your pocket, then you can take it out at certain instances. Okay? Sometimes, and never ever put both your hands in your pocket. Otherwise it shows an overconfidence that really someone who is watching you is going to be like, this person is leaving us out. Let me go to the person who is doing live. Was this live about you and Luba? Was it about you and Luba? So you see Luba? Now Luba, now me who's listening or who's watching, I feel left out. This is the interaction between you guys. Mwesigwa is sitting there. Put him into your conversation. Okay? So please, let's limit this issue of even calling people's names. It can be done at the beginning of your conversation, but you don't need to sustain it. Okay? You don't need to sustain it all the time. Otherwise, you start to leave people out. The conversation starts becoming about just the two of you guys. Okay? Now, who is the producer again? For live, there's a lady who was wearing red. You saw how she was standing. So this guy is looking at us. He's positioned very well. We have one camera. The person we have their profile, this side. So we are not seeing them. It's actually supposed, like Solomon was saying, I think you heard him, Solomon, anybody going to do live can be standing there for nearly 1 hour. So we have to have our camera angles right. Yes, we may have one camera, but then how am I going to talk to somebody who is looking to the side here, even if they're looking at that person? I think we saw what Makerere University did. My mother told me it's very bad to compare. But Makerere University, you have this person here and this person here, and we can see their faces. We can see how they're interacting. Okay, and then lastly, let's try to limit this thing. This person had this to say, and then this person had this to say, and then we don't see what that person had to say. So producer, I'm a producer. Sometimes I have to drop people's stories, but I'll tell you I go home with a headache. So what I do is I plan, and I plan from morning. I'm planning the meal that I am going to serve. So I need to know, she has a story of 1 minute. That one is called a straight cut. That one has a PTC. You, I need an interview from you. You, I need 3 minutes. Then at the end of the day, I know that my bulletin is 20 minutes. I have 19.5 minutes of content. Okay? So the planning process, producers are very, very, very important. But I don't know if I will be able to listen to that story about women in the newsrooms, that last story. Bambi, there is a way I have to listen to it. Okay.
It's on our social media platforms.
Otherwise, thank you so much, Team Christian University. I think the anchors made my day. The producer, you know what some other teams were doing is you'd rather have 3 stories fully aired, lose out on the 4th story to catch up on time, than having half stories. I think it's, although we would miss the other story, but still, it would make more sense. Otherwise, okusayira that story wakati chiruma. Even your mother would not love it if she's there. Otherwise, thank you, team. You see you. It is great.
A minute, team. You see you. A minute, team. You see you. Please, producer, come forth. Stand forth. Men and women this side, may we clap for this man. Sometimes we find a lot of pressure and we end up succumbing that pressure. But I love the way you managed. Whatever Linda was saying is the reality of the newsroom, okay? When you succumb to pressure, things a little get worse. But I want to say thank you because you stood and had a point of defense. Thank you very much. Anchors, please come forth. Men and women, kindly help me clap for the anchors. Besides the odds, you people have the art, okay? You people have the art. It's just a better polishing and things will be to that extreme that we need. And rehearsing and practicing will make you better. You guys, I must go have, your voice is very good. It can work beyond the anchoring. You had good camera relationship. You man, I've liked your style, eh? And finally, the live reporter. The live reporter. May we clap for the live reporter? At the start, he had the best. It only fell a little short when he invited in the person to interview. But the rest was a flowing story. Your storytelling skills are good. Just work on improving on them. Team, thank you very much.
You see, they have done the story and they have finished the performance for both the bulletins, both Uganda and English. Now, this is the first time this is the first time Multitech Business School is here on this stage. They have worked so hard and their performance has made sure they come this far. And now between them and the ultimate trophy is just 4 stories. Will they impress the judges? Ladies and gentlemen, how
the Inter-University Media Challenge. The Inter-University Media Challenge competition is yet back again at the MC High Media Hub. They are in Kabalagala. My name is David Rukundo.
And I'm Catherine Tazita Elinai. It's the 17th of November 2023. Hello and welcome to the News Hour at MBS TV.
Let's first dive into the headlines. We'll be right back.
Rise against poor conditions in where a female journalism students after graduating. YSA residents face challenges, but affordable services keep them put.
Welcome back from the headlines. And to start up with our first bulletin, the Inter-University Bunamwaya-Kisigula Road, dominated by poor condition, has become a pressing concern for residents. Frustrated by persistent challenges, locals have shared their opinions and issues they face in their day-to-day life. Let's have the story.
Roads are one of the causes of development in the world. When we talk about roads in Uganda, many roads are in poor condition. The government passed a 4 trillion budget for 2023 to 2024 to help the transport sector run its operation. Today, we are looking at the Bunamwaya-Kisigula Road, which has been in poor condition for a long period of time. We managed to talk to the local residents and road users and give us their views.
Control the speed.
Basooka tutera mu Hampshire Dam mu trading center kubanga abaana basala abantu bangi abavuga ate n'abakozesa oluguudo balukozesa nga lwakuvunaanyizibwa.
In a meeting with former Machinde Sabagawe Deputy Mayor Mr. Kawalia Vincent, who is also a member of the committee, he further clarified the situation.
Oluguudo olw'ekituufu lusikatidde kubanga yo gavumenti ekuteerawo position egamba sente eziyina ezikola oluguudo naye siyina sente za compensation. Okungulu mubirabanga byangu naye eno naffe tebibeera byangu naye tulumye n'omwengulu kikubiro lirina okugwa omwaka guno tegunaggwa.
Sandra Akankunda, MBS TV.
And in our other story, during the expo at the MCI Media Hub in Kabalagala, experts and students explained why the number of women in the media field are comparable to those of men. Let's have the story in detail.
Mainstream media in Uganda is still suffering with gender imbalance, where most journalists in media houses are male. In a study conducted by African Center for Media Excellence in 2020, women comprise of 20% of the newsroom workforce in Uganda. We also had a conversation with Sylvia Nanta, a female journalist who has been in mainstream media for more than 24 years.
Women also carry different responsibilities as mothers. When you leave office, you have other responsibilities to go back and look after children. Yet this is a profession that doesn't actually pay so well. There's a lot of harassment of girls in the newsroom. I do not know. I also don't want to believe that the harassment is chasing girls out of the newsroom. But I want to think that sometimes the workload that comes with journalism as a profession also throws the lazy ones off.
Speaking to Pauline, a media development consultant, she says a lot of violence is going on in the field.
So when you look at the violence that happens with men in the field, whatever, it becomes more difficult for women than it is for men. And also women tend to think that, no, I might not handle this. There's also sexual harassment in newsrooms. That sometimes they do not run your story because the editor, whoever sub-editor, wants sexual favors from you.
Katie Elvin, MBS TV.
Moving on with the news hour, in the face of challenges, 20% of the residents in Boise Zone 3 find themselves compelled to migrate monthly, struggling with issues such as recurring floods and harsh living conditions. However, the appeal of affordable prices in these ghetto areas often proves strong, anchoring a significant portion of the population despite the challenges they face. Let's take a look.
According to the International Organization for Migration, Uganda has one of the highest annual internal migration rates. Apart from unemployment in various parts of the country, climate change and environmental changes are some of the causes of internal migration, especially landslides, as per 2019 in Bududa, where thousands of people were displaced due to floods. Here in Kampala, Bwai Season 3, Mrs. Nachwala Sophia, the secretary of the committee, told us that 20% of the people are moving every month, but some of them are returning due to lack of choice. As per 2021 report states that 12 million people will be displaced internally due to climate and environmental degradation by 2050.
Around 20% of us in communities. You will have a sentence. While against it, now I come over and do days, whereas I said, right to the home. Now come on,
the residents describe the problems they face in the area, especially those related to floods.
Nasenga problems ya mazi gajjani nagalwawo kuvaamu kankana obucaafu bubeera bungi.
Amazzi gano gatuyisa bubi kuba gayingira ne mu nju ne gatuwonoonera ebintu. Abaana bano nga bw'obalaba ne bakosebwa kuba gaba macaafu baba balina okulwala embira ate era naffe tulwala.
Akakunda Sandra, MBS TV.
The 13th edition for the Inter-University Media Challenge Newsroom contest has commenced today on the 17th of November 2023. 7 universities are participating in this competition. Let's get updates from our foot soldier who is live at the MCI Media Hub in Kabalagala. Aaron Spencer? Aaron Spencer?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, Kathy. Well, I'm on the 4th floor of Tirupati Mazima Mall in Kabalagala at the MCI Media Hub. This place is fully equipped and gazetted with day-to-day technologies that we use and radio. Like today at the MCI today. Today marks the 13th edition of the Inter-University Media Challenge, which was kicked off with a where panelists from different institutions and organizations insights. Generation of journalists on this year's theme is public service delivery. Now, a room that is a little bit far away from me is filled with young, energetic, and charismatic journalists. However, I've been lucky and fortunate enough to get some of them on the outside to tell us how they are feeling and how they are going about with today. Madam, you like tell us your university, where you come from.
My name is Marcy, a student from Kampala International University.
Kampala International University. How do you feel about arrangement?
This is actually my first time here, but I love it. I love the fact that MCI came up with such a beautiful and peaceful competition.
Thank you very much. But when we met a man, big man, come and tell us. Please say your name and university.
Well, my name is Golola Chigozi Joseph from St. Lawrence University.
What trick do you have in pocket?
Well, at St. Lawrence University, what we basically want to deliver was telling stories from the depth to the height.
From depth to the height. You have heard it yourself, Kathy. The young generation is ready and pumped up to give us their best. So I am leaving this only to the judges to judge, for I am only betting on the best. I remain Aaron Spencer, reporting live for MBS. Back to you in studio.
Thank you so much, Aaron Spencer. Rukundo, yes, what do you think about this competition?
I think the media challenge competition is very good. It gives you challenges, it challenges you. But who do you think is going to win this one?
I can't answer that right now. Who do you think?
I can't say all the teams are good, they are good. But personally, I think Multitech is a good one. So, though all the teams are good.
Yeah, we have so good teams like UCU, St. Lawrence University. All the best to all universities that are competing in this competition.
Let the best man win it. However, you have been a wonderful audience from the time we started the bulletin. Until the time you're wrapping it up, I'm David Rukundo.
And I am Catherine Chazita Elinai. Keep it MBS TV. Good evening.
A very emotional one at that for Multitech Business School, Rukundo and the team. They have done their part and the rest remains in the judges' fate. I would like to call the entire team from Multitech Business School to come on the stage and get feedback from our judges. Ladies and gentlemen, let's clap one more time for Multitech Business School. It's been a roller coaster for this team. Coming this far in this season is testament to the hard work they have put in their bulletins. Ladies and gentlemen, the team from Multitech Business School, the producers, editors, and a proud moment for Mr. Balam right there in the audience. Kudos to the team. Now over to the judges.
Cathe, oye. Okay, good afternoon, team. How are you? Nga, you don't have energy? Okay.
That is the word. Talk back.
First of all, I would like to appreciate the team, Multitech.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. It was good. I loved the story angling, the way you came into your stories. I think it was catchy. I loved the news anchors.
Thank you very much.
You did a good job.
You're going to come.
And
No,
first of
we
all,
only
my
one,
concern.
sorry. Yes, she's trying to help me
I have
confirm
6
my
slots
paperwork that it's working.
apart from the anchors. Who is the producer? Ngojeko producer and the anchors. Who is Sandra? Who is Elvin? Who is Aaron? Abalala mwakoze eki? Wanji?
Director.
Okay. You know, I'm not asking these questions for formality. Eh?
The last.
Yes.
Should I answer?
Yeah, please do.
The last guy is called Pius.
Uh-huh.
He was our cameraman on getting those videos. He was the camera guy.
Good.
This one was our director, helped us training, scripting, everything. He was all around. Eh?
Good.
Also a camera operator also. There were 2.
That is what I wanted. I wanted people to understand that it is not a one-man show. When one person fails in a team, when one person wins, the whole of the team wins. You know, if we had all these stories without a camera person, what would happen? This is TV. If we had the anchors without the reporters, what would happen? If we had the director without the, like, it is a whole range of working together. I have a few pointers to net. First of all, I liked the gender story. What did I like about it most? The tag. What did the tag say? Where are the female journalists? And when I was listening, the story was answering those questions. The people that you interviewed told us why there are no female journalists in the newsroom. That is how we do our tags, and we focus our stories to make sure they rhyme with the tag. Thank you. And then I also point out at the mix of names. I think we mixed up some names. For instance, Agatha, we called her Pauline. I think we need to be careful. If it was UBC doing that, everyone on social media, on Twitter, would, oh, look at them, oh, these things happen. Eh? But we don't have to make those mistakes. When we preview our work, we correct those kinds of mistakes. I liked also the articulation, where someone is speaking Langi, and then you transcribe into English. I think that is another feature that we did well. It was good. Thank you. And the anchors, I think you had good enough confidence. You can improve on that, but I think the confidence was good enough. The articulation, I think you did it well. I think the choice was good.
Thank you very much.
I think Linda has something burning. Let's hear what Linda has to say.
It's not actually burning, but I'm that kind of person who I have to say something always. Yeah. Okay, so away from all the nice things, yeah? I'm always a bit critical, yeah? In the real world, in the newsroom, we have what is called a second eye. There needs to be a second eye on practically everything. And there needs to be a second eye on your lower thirds. Otherwise, you'll write Kizza Besigye, and the computer will think it's pizza. It will suggest for you pizza. So instead of Kizza Besigye coming out, you call him Pizza Besigye. So you always need what is called a second critical eye. Okay? So I just noticed a few mistakes. If you ask where the female journalists are, where is the question mark? If you had a good second eye, the good second eye would notice that there was no question mark. And also, you know, Rosie pointed out the names of people, yeah? But then also, let me go to the live. I think you're a fun person. I don't know why. You're a person who does what you want to do, yeah?
Yes.
Exactly. So I could actually see that. So your character actually came out, okay? Which is a very good thing, that you're not a pretender. I hope you're not anyway. But I know this guy who you called, the second guy, come and we talk. That's not how you call people. That's not how you call people. The person is standing by. Like I said, this is where the producer comes in. You called him. Is he your friend?
We are now friends. He's from Slough.
You're now friends. Yeah, but let's not call people like it's not professional. Wait, guy, come, Janguan. Come, let's talk. No, this person is standing by. Walk slowly and walk towards them. Otherwise, you did a very good job. I see my people who I spoke to on Monday. You looked very nervous on that day, but let me just tell you something. You've done a good job. Even for the guys who are working behind the scenes, thank you very much.
Just one thing. Men and women in the room, can we clap for Sandra? You know, in the industry where we are, your relevance matters according to the rate of delivery. If you grab every opportunity around you in the newsroom, then the next day you're elevated to be a leader because you can handle multitasks. So thank you very much, and I wish you well, team.
Well done, Rukundo and your team. Multitech Business School. Beautiful performance from Multitech Business School. The bulletins are coming in hot and very, very, very interesting. But there is more more to that story just in a moment. I have just been told that the Victoria University team is ready with their bulletin. And so without wasting any more of your time, let's move over to Victoria University for their English bulletin.
It is raining, it is flooding. Kampala residents are struggling to make ends meet in one of the rainiest Novembers ever. Good afternoon, welcome to the VU News Hour. My name is Peace Mutoni. First, let's get the headlines.
NEMA boss blames government for Kampala floods. Education migration, how Uganda is becoming a hub for East Africa. Women in sports speak up against unchecked discrimination.
We start the bulletin with the Executive Director of National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, Akankwasa Badirega, blames the government for the never-ending floods in Kampala. Our reporter, Lynette Chisachamukama, has more details on this story.
Network. Of course, most of them are not in very good state. Why? Because most of them have lived beyond their lifeline. We do roads, and most of the roads we do.
Floods have become synonymous with Kampala. Every time it rains, cars, bikes and people have to wade through knee-deep waters to get around, and some roads are left impassable.
In seasons like this, Kampala becomes a mess for everyone as flooding is all over the city. So we ask, what could be the long-term solutions to mitigate this flooding problem in Kampala City and its neighboring divisions?
The Executive Director of the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, Akankwasa Badirega, now blames government itself for the persistent flooding in the city.
60% of the lowlands of the city is actually wetlands. The wetland cover has been reduced, and so water has nowhere to go. The rich are also invading wetlands in terms of factories, warehouses, etc.
The Executive Director claimed that the government financing for the environment is still below the threshold, and so there is need to enhance government financing, leverage private sector financing, and international financing.
How can we increase financing for environment management? Government must invest in cheap housing, organized housing, so that we release land which is occupied by slums for green parks.
In recent years, Kampala and its metropolitan area have experienced a rise in the frequency and intensity of rainfall. Homes and businesses have been destroyed. Public infrastructure has also felt the brunt of floods as roads are left impassable every time it rains.
Amazi bwegajja bwegava waggulu bwegatuyingira emyala gyonna mifu.
In response to these challenges, various stakeholders including government agencies, non-government organizations and community groups have been tirelessly trying to mitigate the impact of flooding in Kampala.
We've been able to receive about $288 million from the African Development Bank to revamp about 70 kilometers of roads.
KCCA Deputy Executive Director, Engineer David Sailuyimbazi, urged Kampala residents to desist from constructing homes in wetlands, warning that this will come back to haunt them in the future.
Flood water has no drainage basin to go to. It ends up occupying spaces otherwise occupied by people.
As Uganda marked 61 years of independence, President Museveni warned about the threats climate change poses, emphasizing the urgent need to prioritize environmental preservation.
Why do we need to protect these environmental assets? They provide us with three of the most primary lifesavers: air, water, and food. Those in the wetlands must live them peacefully.
Africa is most at risk of the effects of climate change, as most of the continent relies on rain-fed agriculture for their economic sustenance. Kisacha Mukama Linet, VU News Hour.
Thank you, Lynette, for that beautiful story. Now, elsewhere, as the rest of the world grapples with building walls to incarcerate asylum seekers and bundling them onto deportation flights, in Uganda, everyone is welcome and is treated equally. Celine Najemba tells a story of a country that welcomes literally everyone.
In Europe, migrants are a big debate. Migrants on the US southern border are one of the most polarized debates. It is like migrants are not welcome anywhere in the world right now. Here, migrants, refugees, and asylum seekers are as good as citizens. They are not kept in camps. Uganda's host policy grants refugees complete freedom of movement and full rights to work, study, and really do just about anything they want. Many are now flocking Uganda to access education, like Ajal Nihal and Nawal Yusuf, students of Victoria University, pursuing different bachelors.
Studying was just part of to waste time, but when we came here, the schools were more serious.
Uganda receives migrants from various countries, with some being refugees and asylum seekers who go through the education system in Uganda. Due to its central location in the heart of Africa, surrounded by countries with civil conflicts, Uganda has become a hub for education migration.
The current president of the Republic of Uganda fled to this country in early 60s. He lived in this country as a refugee, studied in this country.
Education in Uganda is going great. Not gonna lie, there has been challenges, but there is nothing Uganda education system can't figure out. I feel like students in Uganda are kind of favorable in a way, since majority of, you could say universities in Uganda have a hybrid, which means students can do online or physical classes at the same time.
Educationist Dr. Lawrence Mugwanga adds that there is need for improvement in the quality of education. Otherwise, other countries in the region may become more attractive for educational migration.
There shouldn't be gaps, but there shouldn't be a situation where if you study in Uganda and you complete your own bachelor's degree, when you go to Canada, they have to tell you to go back to high school. No, it shouldn't be like that.
At least for the last 5 years, education contribution to the GDP has been above 5%, making education the 6th largest sector of Ugandan economy by economic activity after agriculture, construction, manufacturing, wholesale, or in Uganda. Celine Victoria Najemba, VUTV.
Thank you, Celine, for that story. Now, today, seven journalism universities have conveyed students at the Media Challenge Initiative Newsroom contest to see who the best is. Our reporter Daisy Ndagide is at the scene. Daisy Ndagide, tell us what is happening.
I am here live at the MCI headquarters, which are located on the top floor of Tirupati, which is situated along Gaba Road. Yes, the tensions are very, very high. Outside where the temperatures are a bit chilly, but inside I believe the temperatures are really, really high. The main hall is filled to the brim. People's makeup is flowing off. People's heels have gone off and their coats have gone off the back. Among the 7 universities that are participating today, we have Umat, we have YPA, and we have information that we have Victoria University too, and it is actually their very first time to present in these competitions. They have 3 stories that they're going to be showing in their bulletin from 3 sectors, which is the gender sector, migration sector, and the public service delivery sector. In the main hall, I believe also an esteemed journalist, Mr. Daniel Lutaya, as an esteemed journalist, Mr. Daniel Lutaya from News 24/7, and I think an MC alumni, Mr. Julius Buchana, who was once a participant in this competition. These competitions have been going on for the past 13 seasons, and I believe that this time there'll be a university, maybe Victoria University, that will take the cup. I am Daisy Ndagire, reporting live at the MCI headquarters. Back to you, please, at the VU TV Command Center.
Thank you very much, Daisy. Now, all the best to the 7 universities competing today. Elsewhere, whereas talent and dedication should be the only things that matter in the world of sports, Women in sports say otherwise. There's a dark side to that, and that is discrimination. Today, one of our reporters, Purity Lamara, explores this.
We are going to work.
My name is Purity Livingston Lamar. I'm a journalist, but also a basketball player. I would be the only lady training among boys. I've been told by people not to lean more on the basketball side and follow the journalism side more. They say people like me do not make it in sports. And by people like me, they mean women.
Ugandan sports has been dominated majorly by men for a good number of years now. The technical teams, the administrators, the coaches, the doctors, the referees, and umpires are mostly men. Letitia Awor, one of the Uganda national women's basketball team, the Gazelles player, says that the men's team is paid way more than them.
Our best players really get like they get peanuts, and then the boys are highly paid.
The women's game are not even played in the big fancy stadiums.
In Zone 5 qualifiers, the main stadium was given to the men who came to qualify for bar, and now when it was the ladies' time, they were given some small arena.
Society's gender roles do not help. Women have way more responsibilities than men in home management and raising children.
When you look at the roles that women play in homes and in society in general, you'll find that the expectations, the cultural expectations that are there still limit women.
Even with the challenges, some women have braved the situation. Like Ali Mavita, a former player herself who has gone on to coach the national team, making her mark on this male-dominated sport.
I have the capacity, I have the ability, and I know her in a unique manner. I know her, I can understand her perspective, I know where she's coming from, I know when she's moody, I know how to deal with her, and I also know what battle is supposed to get her to the highest level.
We really have quite a number of laws in place that support the sport. We don't need that for anything new. All that we need is to be intentional about budgeting.
A study by Chambo University and the Kenyatta University reveals that men are not only dominating on the court and the fields, but also in the boardrooms, as slightly over 0.5% of executive positions in sports are being occupied by women. For me, I'll continue playing in the hope that it will get better. Purity Livingston Lamar, VU News Hour.
Thank you, Purity, for that impactful story right there. Now, today we want to take this opportunity to wish the Chabazinga and Inebantu Jovia Mutesi the best on their upcoming wedding. But also, that is all the time we had for in this edition of VU News. My name is Peace Motoni. Until we meet again tomorrow, same time, same place.
Give it up one more time for Victoria University. And just like we did with all the teams before that, can we have the team from Victoria University make their way onto the stage for the judges' feedback? Victoria University, the producers, and the editorial team making their way onto the stage. Moment of truth from their performance. It is the first time Victoria University makes its entry onto the National Newsroom contest stage, and have they impressed? That remains for the judges. Judges, over to you.
Thank you very much, Victoria University, for the presentation. Can I see the production team? Wow, move forward. I want to commend the work you've done. The pictures are, or the videos are mature videos. And relative to what I've seen, you had a third eye on whatever was going on. Thank you very much. That's very, very important. May we clap for this production team? Eh? People rarely see them, but they make everything that we see. Then back to the anchor piece. I love your style. It's a rare style. You had a smile on your face. You had the energy, and your articulation was very good.
Thank you very much.
You were smartly dressed for the anchoring session, and your voice quality is also good.
Thank you very much.
Now, maybe some small area of improvement. You were too composed towards the end of the bulletin, that the energy you started with started lowering. Yet we expect to have a hype as we move to the end, because you're still engaging us. Then to the live reporter. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're smart.
Thank you.
You were confident.
Thank you.
But I want to say this, what makes a live report is the audience engagement. Because the only way we know that you have gone to cover the event is you bring us to speed with what is happening by people at the scene telling us what is happening. We know the camera can give us what is happening, but we want to hear the story from the people at the site. That makes the story more vivid and good to watch. And Lamara, where are you? Wow. I loved your style. It is a rare style, okay? You approached a story with a personal experience. And you know, we want to always listen to those experiences that people hold, especially when they are of importance to the story they are telling. We loved it. Keep it up. And where is Najemba? Wow. Well done.
Thank you.
The energy this time round was seen.
Thank you.
When I met you for the first time, the energies were low. I think they should give us another third round. From the second round to the third round, it will be better and better. This points at practicing and practicing, not ceasing, to make it better. Thank you very much, team. Unless Nalongo has something to say.
Apart from appreciating the team, apart from the video quality was very good, one thing I'll point out in the newsroom, you know, when we, apart from the professional comments that we are making, we are also putting ourselves in the news, in the sitting room, watching your TV, and the picture is repeated 4 times, same picture. You know, in TV they tell us, let the pictures do the talking. So, when we go to the field, can we make sure we get as many cutaways as possible? Where we can. Of course, there are some stories where it is difficult to get the cutaways. But where we can we get as many pictures as possible? If we keep on seeing the same picture, different words, same picture, different words, they don't rhyme. So next time when we are doing this, let's look out for those small things. And then the other issue is, I think, must be the ED of KCCA. Who is the ED? Pardon? We didn't talk about this.
Environment Management Authority.
Okay, even for that one, who is government? Does he work for government? Is NEMA part of government? Mm-hmm. So when NEMA blames government, whom are they blaming? I thought they were supposed to make sure people don't settle in the wetlands. It is their role. So the tag should be saying, NEMA blames self. They've not done their work. Maybe next time we put them to task to make sure who is supposed to. NEMA is the lead agency in this. So if people are settling in the forest reserves, in the wetlands, it is NEMA. NEMA blames itself for the flooding in the city. Yeah, basically some of the things that we can correct, because at this stage, we are learning. So next time when we are doing this, next time when we are in the newsroom, let's correct some of the things. Thank you.
Okay, like I said, I always have to speak. I like the live, I like the team. I enjoyed your bulletin. I enjoyed your bulletin. I really did. And you guys are very smart. And I don't know why there's only one man here. And I think he's even looking out of place. Is he the producer? He is the producer. You did a good job. Your editor. Yeah, you guys did a very good job. You did. Emma, not Emma, Daisy. You passed by here. Yeah. Let's clap one more time. Clap one more time for Victoria University. Such a wonderful time to be a female journalist. I mean, so much inspiration in just one room, so much talent. And I mean, I can only imagine what happens just a couple of years from now. It is a beautiful space. It is a huge platform for every young journalist in this room. And this platform has produced some of the most prolific media personalities here in Uganda. And such a humbling experience to just sit and host on this very platform. Well, right about now, are we ready for some more bulletins? Yes? If you're ready for slow, say slow. I am still learning if it's slow or slow, but there we go, Slowway it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move over to Slowway for some more bulletins. Team St. Lawrence University making its way to the studios for the ultimate bulletin. Team St. Lawrence University. The rest of you go. The rest. No. You guys. The rest of you. I only need slap. The rest of you, I come. The rest of you come. We're ready for St. Lawrence University's news anchoring team in English. Eyes on the screen.
Good evening and welcome to Slough TV News Edition My name is Maria Alexandria Kansinga, and with me is
Sako Wycliffe. Topping the stories today, the parish development model has introduced as improved lives in Muduma.
The grand finale of the inter-university newsroom competitions is happening today. And guess what? We are going to be joining in live with our correspondent who is already there, but later on. Once again, a welcome. And a special welcome goes to those joining us for the very first time.
And you can also join in live on the Media Challenge Initiative social media platforms. Good evening.
Now, kicking off the parish development model launched by the government to create a socio-economic impact to Ugandans and ease the burden of poverty is now changing lives in PG district.
Gilikwayo Christopher, age 65, is one of the pioneer beneficiaries of the program. And according to him, the money was a lifesaver because he used it to improve the farming business. Our reporter Rebecca has more of this story.
As Uganda strives to fulfill its 2040 vision of transforming its society from a peasant to a modern and prosperous one, the government launched the parish development model to create a socio-economic impact for Ugandans and ease the burden of poverty. Jirikwayo Christopher, age 65, is a resident of Chibumbilo village located in Muduma sub-county in PG district. Christopher is one of the pioneer beneficiaries of the parish development model, and according to him, on April 14th, 2023, he received a message confirming the deposit of 1 million Ugandan shillings into his bank account.
I received the money in April. We were called and went to the DFCU bank where we got the money from.
Christopher says the money was a lifesaver because he used it to improve his farming business and as well start a piggery farm, which has not only improved his livelihood but also positively impacted his overall well-being.
I made sure that I used the money so that it rescues me from poverty. Within 2 or 1 year, I may have something to sell at home.
According to Kaziwe Ronald, the district commercial officer of PG district, out of the 56 parishes, 55 have so far benefited from the parish development model and they have successfully invested the money, thereby improving the livelihoods of the people in that district.
The district has 56 parishes. Out of the 56 parishes, 55 have benefited. They have so far disbursed 107 million each to more than 107 beneficiaries in each parish. We are suddenly seeing success in some of the sectors, especially those who went straight into agricultural business, trade.
According to the 2023 World Bank report, 41.7% of Ugandans are living below the poverty line. However, the same report indicates a slight improvement by 2025. This could be an indicator that projects like the parish development model are delivering a socio-economic impact to Ugandans. Reporting for Flow TV News Edition, Rebecca Nakato in Muduma.
We are looking forward to more of these projects in our country. Now, heading on, in the significant stride for gender parity, the rise of women leadership roles is becoming increasingly pronounced, not just within Uganda, but Africa as a whole.
And according to the African Union's Department for Women and Youth in Africa, a promising picture is painted showcasing a 46% of the government roles now occupied by women in Africa. Let's look into it.
In a significant strive for gender parity, the rise of women in leadership roles is becoming increasingly pronounced, not only in Uganda, but across the expansive African continent. According to African Union Department for Youth and Women in Africa, A promising picture is painted showcasing a remarkable 46% of the government roles now occupied by women in Africa. While discussing the future of women and girls in Africa at the Media Challenge Expo, organized by the Media Challenge Initiatives in Kampala, panelists have highlighted some of the factors that have enabled women assume leadership roles in Africa.
The different countries, at least I can say, have put in place constitutionally laws that will allow women to be significantly represented in politics.
The way the media now covers women has changed from just portraying them as sex objects, but now we are looking at shaping stories to bring out women with influence, women with power, women who have made it, beyond just showing them in skimpy dresses.
Leading the charge in women's involvement in decision-making across African countries are Rwanda, topping the list with an impressive of 61.3%, followed by Senegal in the second place with 46%. South Africa closely behind with a 45.6%. Namibia securing a strong position with 44.2%. These statistics pose a question for other African nations such as Uganda on what steps they can take to enhance women's representation in decision-making across the continent.
We still have a long way to go in terms of tackling some of these socio-cultural issues that continue to pull women back.
Reporting for Slough TV, I'm Kansinga Maria Alexandria.
Now, heading on to our next story, Chisenyi, once a modest suburb, now stands as a testimony to the thriving Somali community. Surprisingly, among its diverse residents, have proudly identified as Somalis, making a significant culture of presence within this neighborhood.
Despite its slum status, Chisenyi is a home for all classes of Somalis who play a crucial role in sustaining the local economy and the community as a whole. Our reporter Nalwoza Christine has more on this story.
The Somali civil war stands as one of Africa's enduring conflicts, forcing many Somalis to seek refuge in neighboring countries, including Uganda. According to the United Nations High Commission for Refugees, Uganda currently hosts 41,246 Somalis, with a significant 43% finding settlement in and around the capital, Kampala. Chisenyi, a vibrant suburb in Kampala, stands out as a prominent hub for the Somali community, and among 10 residents in this area, 5 of them are Somalis. Despite its slum status, Chisenyi is home to a growing middle and upper class of Somalis who play a crucial role in sustaining the local economy and have notably uplifted the entire community.
I'm dealing with accessory, like electronics accessory, which is like selling covers, screen protector, earphones, and so also phones, small phones.
Ugandans in Chisenyi neighborhood have nothing but praise Somalis, describing them as genuinely good people who can be wholeheartedly trusted.
We did not get any challenges with Somalis, and they became Ugandans. That's why we cooperate with them in all aspects of life. Somalis are very humble people. If you handle them with
The success stories of Somalis working here in Uganda challenge the perception that their presence stems solely from being refugees. Their contributions not only defy difficulties, but also significantly fuel development, showcasing resilience, talent, and transformative impact on the Chisenyi community. Reporting for Slough TV, Christine Alwoza.
Thank you so much, Christine Naluoza. Now let's cross over to our correspondent, Angelina Gama, who is at the Media Initiative Hub in Kabalagala, where the grand finale of the Inter-University Newsroom competitions is happening, to give us a deep brief of what is happening where she is.
And of these, 7 universities have gathered
together.
Thank you very
much. I am here live at the Tripati Mazima Mall, where the MCI Media Hub is located. And today, the Media Challenge Initiative has organized a national newsroom contest where students from different universities and institutes are on a heated competition just to find out who will make it to the top 3. And just to take you a little bit back to Monday, students have been here on a Media Challenge Expo where they have been able to learn a lot from different panels. Next to me is Essie from KIU, who is going to share with me how this expo has been and what she has learned from. Yes, Essie?
Yes, well, it has been a very fantastic experience in this expo. It has been a very, very great one. I've learned to innovate in different media fields, like in the field of journalism. And well, we hope for all the best of it all. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That was it from Essie. Let's have more of our subsequent bulletins in studio. Angelina Gama for you.
Thank you so much, Angelina Gama. That has been the bulletin from here at the Slough TV News Edition. I beg your pardon. That has been the bulletin here at the Slough TV News Edition. I've been Consinger Maria Alexandria with
Saku Wycliffe.
All right, Saku, today being a Friday, we're heading into the weekend. What's your program?
I'll actually get a safe car to meet up the boys at Serena.
Me time heading to salon to do some pedicure and manicure over there. Have a blessed evening.
Have a blessed evening.
Everyone that worked on this bulletin, kindly come to the stage. It is St. Lawrence University. Let's one more time, Slawe. One more time. All right, judges, over to you for feedback. I can say I was entertained. Thank you very, very much. Yes, I was very entertained. The anchors, you guys did a good job. You guys did a really, really, really good job. How long was your bulletin?
Helen,
yeah. So let's just go back to the issue of time, yeah? Sometimes it doesn't, if your bulletin is, it's captivating, I'm not going to think about the time. Honestly, I will just ignore it. So I can say that I was captivated, okay? I liked the story about PDM, I liked the women's story, I liked Christine's story, I liked Angelina's story. Angelina, were you live? You were live? Where have you come from? Just outside there. Okay. So the global intro was really good. Now, it's just something to do with the style of when, instead of using, what is it called? Transcriptions, you know, the transcriptions. So if ever you have, for the editor especially, if ever you have somebody who is speaking in a different language from English and you would want to put a voice over it, get that voice that is speaking in Luganda, let it play for a little bit, then lower it completely. So, or even if you don't lower it completely, just make sure that it does not interfere, because then when it interferes, then we lose what the person is saying, okay? Then Maria, I liked this, and I think it's something that I spoke about the other day. You were there with me, huh? You know, we did this in drama in secondary school. When somebody is saying their lines, the camera is on that person, or everybody's looking at that person. What about you who's acting with them, what are you doing? You've got to stay in character. Now, why am I saying you've got to stay in character? Even as a news anchor, the camera can come back to you at any one time. And when it comes back to you, does it find you looking at your nails? Does it find you giggling? Does it find you playing? What does it find you doing? But I think you saw what she did is when we were live with Angelina, she was looking at Angelina. Now, that is what a news anchor is supposed to do. Just look at them. By the way, you're interacting with them. You're listening to them. Don't switch off. Like I told you, the camera can come back to you anytime. And I'll tell you truthfully, it can find you in a very embarrassing position. Thank you very much.
It's the 17th of November 2020.
I think basically that's it. I would like to appreciate the whole team. And I would also like to appreciate Maria. Just like I've always said, the best anchor is someone who can go to the field. If you don't go to the field, even in studio, you don't get to feel the stories. You don't know what people go through to go getting the story. You can kill the story anytime. So I would like to appreciate that. Seeing in the studio and seeing in the field. That is great.
Slawe! Somebody say yeah, yeah! Yeah! You!
I promise you, if there is a team that has had fun doing this bulletin, it is Slawe. I mean, it is a competition, but do not forget to have some fun. And Slawe leading on that front as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we have had 5 universities go into the newsroom and produce both bulletins. And now, 2 news teams are left. Going in for the second last spot is Umat and Mass Communication. Kindly come to the studios, for we are ready for the Umat School of Journalism coming through for this bulletin.
Umat News Live. Umat News Live.
It's the 17th of November 2023. Good evening and welcome to Umat News tonight. I am Deborah Kuzara with
Arnold Katongle, and welcome to Africa's biggest primetime news bulletin. But first, we have our reporter Sanyo Robert, who is in Kabalagala interacting with residents. Robert, are you hearing me? Robert? Yes, Robert, I can see you. Please go ahead.
But first,
In the headlines tonight, land pollution on the rise, Kamucha locals cry out to authorities. And in our special report is Salvadoran's story of resilience to excellence.
Welcome once again to Umat News Live. My name is Arnold Katongole. To kick off, 4.5 differently abled people in Uganda, with 144,000 being blind. The struggle goes beyond physical hurdles, as societal stereotypes often force many to give up on life. In our special report, we shed light on an inspiring journey of a visually impaired student, Isabide Mulani, who defies societal norms to pursue his dreams of becoming a beacon of resilience for others facing similar challenges.
4.5 million people in Uganda are able differently according to the Uganda Bureau of Statistics Census Report 2016. Today, we look at persons with visual impairment in Uganda. 5.9% of the population live with this health condition. I visited Umat, a journalism school located in Mengo, where I happened to find Mulani Isabi, a year one diploma student. Mulani, unlike other students, he is blind, which he attributes to the quinine dosage administered to him while unconscious in his infancy, battling measles, a moment that took away his sight forever. However, this has not stopped Mulani during his dreams of becoming a trained journalist, musician and pianist. Morgan, a fellow